welcome to episode 49 of Sparks Entertainment and Art. That means that we are one away from a major milestone, and I have a great guest all set for you guys for episode 50, and we're going to really celebrate the milestone. I hope that will encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. But the great news is that I also have a great guest right here with me today, and I am thrilled that Bob Haag, the guitarist from those wonderful 1980s Sparks albums, is with me today. And let me welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, this is a return visit, and it was spurred by the live stream that we did where we brought you together with all of your old bandmates, which was one of the most well-received episodes we ever did.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it really was a lot of fun. And one thing you said almost offhandedly really caught my attention. And I said, I got to hear more about that, which is that you built an entire line of guitars. Somebody asked about the Vistalite, I think, guitars, and you mentioned that you had built an entire line of guitars. So I really want to hear more about that. But first, I want to make sure people get to know you just a little bit. Where did you grow up, and what led you to become a guitarist?
Well, I lived originally in Lakewood, California, which is part of the LA outskirts, kind of by Long Beach. And when I was 6, we moved up to Lancaster, which is the high desert, and I thought my parents had lost their mind. It was like being at the end of the world. I was like, where are we? They got me a radio, an AM radio at the time. There wasn't anything else. And the local station actually played some really good music. They played a whole variety of stuff. The kid across the street had a guitar. And so I would keep borrowing it and learning how to play it. And so my parents went and got me a Silvertone acoustic from Sears so that I would stop taking the kid's guitar from across the street. And yeah, I just really liked it, and I liked learning all the songs. And then the Beatles came out and basically changed everything. It was like a really big deal. And so then I really wanted to be in a band. But by then, I think I was already starting to play with different people around Lancaster and stuff. Plus, the guitars at the time, my first electric guitar was pretty hideous. And so I learned how to work on it back then when I was, probably only like 7 or 8.
Okay. So you were 7 or 8 and you were already working on a guitar?
Yeah, because they were, back then, the quality of the imported guitars, which is what you probably had, most people had when you were kids, because the Gibsons and Fenders at the time were pretty expensive. And yeah, the action and everything was like pretty high and really, yeah. So I was always working on stuff anyway, fixing stuff and doing all kinds of stuff, even when I was little. So I started learning how it was all put together, and you didn't have the internet or anything to find out anything. So it was kind of like trial and error. And then all my friends with their guitars, they would have problems too, the same kind of problems. And so I learned how to work on the guitars very early, and I was fixing other people's guitars. And that just kept going. I just kept doing that until, like, in my, when I was in high school, I started actually fixing and working on musical instruments for the local music store, Lancaster Music. And yeah, I was doing everything from refinishing pianos to gluing back on bridges that would pull off of people's acoustic guitars, and you name it, I was working on it.
And you wanted to not only fix guitars, though, you wanted to take it to the next step, which is to basically design your own guitars. That's really something.
Yeah, so I had built a couple original designs, like at the start of Sparks. When we joined that, I designed a bass for Les and a matching guitar for me. And I'm actually playing it at the Circus Krona, the show there. I'm playing my red guitar. Well, unfortunately, that got broke, so I didn't have that anymore. But I built me the yellow and blue like Stratocaster type guitar, and that all evolved around. Getting involved with Schecter guitars that were located in Van Nuys at the time. And Tom Anderson, he's a famous guitar builder now, but back then he was just building necks and stuff for Schecter because they were licensed by Fender to make replacement necks and bodies and stuff. So I would get necks from them, and then Tom would also give me all their tooling for the bodies and stuff that were out of spec from Fender. So they were going to trash them anyway. So he gave them to me so I could make the bodies the way I wanted to, and so that gave me all kinds of tooling to where I could make guitars for people and stuff. And so that's when the whole Endodyne guitar thing started. Yeah,
Thank you. I said Vistalite. I'm not sure where that came from. Endodyne is what I should have said.
well, Vistalite was David Kendrick's drums.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were Ludwig, but the model was Vistalite because they're acrylic.
Yeah.
And let's see, well, where else? Oh, and when I was working at Lancaster Music, this was while I was still, I think, putting together Bates Motel and stuff. I got sent to, well, I went down to the Fender factory and got a tour there, and they actually ended up authorizing me to do all their warranty work. And this was back in 1977. So, yeah, I've been authorized to do Fender's warranty work forever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it all evolved. It just kept growing and growing. I just kept doing stuff on a person by person basis and stuff.
So you were building not only guitars but also bass guitars. That was part of Bates Motel from the start, or did that gradually get incorporated?
No, that started all in before, well, in Sparks. So before we were actually going out and touring and doing that stuff, I put together the guitar and bass and the different guitars because David, he was really into primary colors. So
Yeah.
I built the bright yellow and the bright blue, and I had the red guitar too that got broke. So I had these primary colors guitar. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And I have no idea where those guitars are now. I loaned them out, and yeah, they're floating around somewhere.
I'll bet you'd love to get them. Are you still building, by the
Oh,
way?
yeah, I'm still building. Well, very slowly now, but yeah, I've got. Man, I probably have at least 4 projects in pieces in the shop.
Yeah. So that's really wonderful. And so I get the sense, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense that at that period of their career, Ron and Russell probably liked those primary colors. That really made the band stand out. It was a very band focused period for them.
I well, I mean, I don't know because I don't think they ever really mentioned anything. They pretty much let me do whatever I wanted to do. It was really cool. Excuse me. But also at that live Cronus Circus Cronus gig, I think Ron is actually acting like he's playing my yellow guitar at the stop.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the yellow one.
Did he ever actually play the guitar in the gigs?
No. He just got up to do that at the start. Yeah, it was funny.
And they really gave you guys a lot of leeway. That was discussed in the earlier show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pretty much, I think, because they knew from watching us at Bates Motel that we knew what we were doing,
Yeah.
and so I think they relied a lot on us to know where to go with stuff, and it was actually it was really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the albums that you guys produced, beginning with this one, are, and I would add this one to it, will forever be two of my all-time favorite. I can't get it. There we go. Well, everybody knows the albums.
Yeah,
Oh, and there you are on the back. Um,
yeah,
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 there you are. Those will forever be two of my very favorite albums that they ever produced.
yeah. I mean, I like a lot of their stuff, but for me and our time in there, those were two of my favorites too, just because they were more everybody was involved
Yeah.
and really putting in their own 2 cents and everything, and it was really cool.
Did you get the sense at that time that they really wanted to just have kind of a clean start and they wanted to get back into the rock and roll and kind of reestablish the baseline of what Sparks was all about?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that was, yeah, that was pretty much said. I mean, that's the thing, they wanted to have a band again, and there we were.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were pretty much burnt out from playing 6 nights a week all over from San Francisco to San Diego, and yeah, we were ready for something different.
It was a match made in heaven. And it sounds like it was a period that you really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably more than anybody else. I
Is
was
that right?
well, because with Bates Motel and with everything I've been in, even with Sparks in a way, I was always putting together all the sound systems and the equipment and stuff, making sure we all had good stuff and making sure it all worked. And if anything needed repair, I was pretty much the guy. I either had to do it or take it to somebody. And yeah, so yeah, it was yeah, and with Bates Motel, it was a little more primitive. But once we were in Sparks, it gave me flexibility. I could find people to farm stuff out to in a hurry and everything. So, but I was pretty much running everything, and yeah, but I do that anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's something that I never knew. That you were the one who kind of kept the technical aspect of it going, and you really made sure that everything was on track and working the way it was supposed to.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. The brothers, they at the time they didn't care about any of that stuff. I mean, they knew it had to be done, but and
Right.
then Les and David, they were well, Les anyway, especially technically, it's like it was hard enough to get him to plug his pedal in right. So, yeah, but he's a hell of a bass player, so you know what the heck. But yeah, we had some funny moments, and oh my god.
What's one that comes to mind?
Well, just every time before a gig, just about, there's only 2 holes to plug the cords in into his pedal, and he'd always be going, "Bob, my pedal's not working." And I'm like, "Oh no!" So I'd have to go plug it in right. No, my gosh.
Now, how about David? Did you work with him at all on what he was doing? Or is that
Dave,
a little different, I assume?
he was pretty self sufficient. Yeah, unless something needed fixed, which I can't, like a pedal broke or something like that, then I didn't really get involved in anything. He pretty much handled all his stuff.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, he's. I've talked with him a couple times, and he's just such a delight to talk with. And I'm a drummer myself, so we always. I like to say that he gave me a lesson when I talked to him years ago because I said on Wacky Women, how do you do that beat? Because, and he explained it to me with that it was more the tom toms and
Yeah,
not the floor tom. And it's like, okay. After that, I had no problems doing the beat.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's he's a force to be reckoned with, man. Yeah, I had. I mean, yeah, I had. They were the greatest guys. I mean, it was like, I've been very lucky that I really can't remember very many people that I've had in a band that I really didn't want in the band. I mean, I'm pretty much all good guys. I've been very fortunate.
Yeah. Well, was there any follow up between you guys after the live stream?
Me and Les will text about just off the wall stuff. I think we did talk after the meeting and stuff, different texts and stuff, and everybody had a good time and all that. And then Les was saying how I guess Jim came to L.A. to play with one of the groups he plays with, and so Les went and saw him, and yeah, I guess they got together, and that was pretty fun. Yeah, I'm. Let's see, I'm about when am I? I'm about an hour and a half to 2 hours away, and it's kind of hard for me to get out of here because where I live out in the sticks, people come and they dump their dogs off and stuff, and so they come to my property because I got all this stuff going on, and so I'm anywhere from 11, 12. I'm like down to, I think, 9 or 7 dogs right now. But
Oh,
yeah, I take care of them and try and find homes. But man, with the vet bills and everything else, they keep me running.
that's I didn't know that you did that. That's amazing to learn that. The more I learn about you, the more amazed I am, I have to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plus, I'm going to be selling a bunch of my stuff because so I've got so much stuff and limited room. I'm trying to get the studio situated and organized along with the shop, and I just got too much stuff, and I never play this half the stuff because I don't have time, and so I'd rather get it to people that are actually going to use it. And so yeah, I'll be putting up different stuff probably on Reverb and eBay uh, here shortly, hopefully in the next month or two.
What kind of stuff?
Oh, amps, guitars, yeah.
Okay, well, if there's anything Sparks related, let me know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't I don't have a whole lot. I've given away tons of stuff, and then from moving different times, I've either lost it or Lord only knows where it is. I'm hoping that once I go through everything, I'll find a bunch of it again. But yeah, I gave away tons of stuff, and man, oh man.
It seems like you really look back on those Sparks days as a real highlight of your career.
Yeah, as far as the like live shows and the records and stuff like that, yeah, it pretty much fulfilled everything I had set out to do because I was never in music for the money. It was like I I'm not a businessman. I'm terrible at business. So I just love to play music and stuff. So I always wanted to make a record, and then I always wanted to tour and all that stuff. And so I did all that. So I was perfectly happy with all that. I mean, yeah, I would have liked it to go on even longer, but at the time I was getting ready to start a family, and so it didn't bother me much at all to step away because I tried for a little bit to do both. I was recording and producing different groups and stuff like that, but hanging out with a lot of musicians isn't very what do you want to say? It's not very conducive to like family life and stuff with
Yeah.
the hours and everything.
Are you
So,
playing with anybody now?
well, I have the Super Funky Fever Monkeys that I record with, which is basically just me and my drummer, Corvell. And but I play with a cover band, and we also do some of my Super Funky Fever Monkey songs in there.
Do you do
And
any Sparks?
once in a while, we'll do Cool Places with my granddaughter. She'll sing Jane's part and stuff, and so yeah, she'll if she's available, she'll come up and we'll do Cool Places.
Wow, that's great. So it sounds like you're in a good place.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm still playing. Yeah, Yeah, we don't gig very much just because different times of the year it's either too cold here or too hot. But in between, we try and get out and play a few gigs and stuff. And yeah, we cover all kinds of stuff, all kinds of music. But yeah, we also do some of my originals. So yeah, it's fun.
I'll bet that's great. I'll bet that's terrific. And it's great to hear all this, and it's great to hear you thinking about. It's great to hear you looking back and talking about these things. With and it's also it just is really cool to me that you were the guy building the guitars that the band was using throughout that the whole time you were there.
Yeah, I'm still working on them too. In fact, I've got a couple guitars here now that were brought in for me to figure out what's wrong with them. They're one of them's making noise. The other one I just got to do strings and action stuff like that. But yeah, it's just something I've done for so long that it yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your story and telling us about the great work that you've done and that you did, and about your time with Sparks. It sounds like that was a nice period.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a really good memory.
Yeah. Any final words that you want to add?
Yeah, anybody interested in stuff, look forward to probably have maybe a page on Reverb when I decide to sell stuff. And yeah, uh, yeah, and oh yeah, check out the Super Funky Fever Monkeys.
Okay. Are they easy to find?
Well, right now you can find all the songs on Reverb Nation, but yeah, I know there's some that are on like Spotify or whatever.
So thank you, Bob. This was exactly the conversation I was hoping to have. I find it so intriguing to hear. That one little thing you said just set me off. I got to learn more about that, and I'm so glad that you were amenable to a follow-up discussion. I think it was great. I appreciate everything you said, and hope folks enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. I hope you're going to hit that old subscribe button, because it's always good to spread the word about these great musicians who played with the band and who have done so much, who have accomplished so much in many of the other things that they've done well beyond Sparks. So it's just great. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you soon with episode 50. You're going to love it. And Bob, thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
See you soon, everybody.
All right, see ya.
See ya.